Alrighty, if you guys want to get out your recorders, we're going to do some recorder playing today. Okay, so from memory, who can tell me what notes we have played on the recorder? So we have B, A, G, and E. Okay, and we're going to go over just some of the recordings just for reference. So we have B, so for B, we have where our thumb is going on the back hole, and then we have our pointer finger on the first hole. And it should look a little bit like this. Okay, then for E, we're going to leave those fingers down, or for A, we're going to leave these fingers down, and we're going to have our index finger come down on the second hole. And then we're going to leave those fingers there, and then for G, we're going to have our ring finger come down, and it should look a little bit like that. All right, and then for E, we're going to have on our right hand, our pointer finger and our index finger, and they're going to go down on, see if you guys can, on these two holes right here. So it should look like this. Okay, so we're just going to now do a repeat after me activity, and I'm going to play, so we're going to play the notes E, G, A, B. Those notes are not going to change in the order, but the rhythm might, okay? So you guys need to be making sure you're listening for the rhythm. I'm going to play one note, and then you guys are there's going to be one measure for you guys to listen, and then you guys will play, okay? All right. Remember, notes will stay the same, rhythm may not, okay? All right, so my turn. 1, 2, here we go. Two, and now your turn. Awesome. Now my turn. 1, 2, now your turn. 1, 2, now my turn. 1, 2, now your turn. Awesome. Last time, now my turn. 1, 2, now your turn. Awesome. So now we're going to go down. We're going to play, just for review, we're going to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Everyone remembers that, right? Okay. So just to review, remember we have on the first line, the last measure, we have a high D. And you guys should have marked it. But just so you guys can remember, high D, we have our index finger on the second hole. And then we have our thumb off the back hole. Okay? All right. You guys ready? We're going to take this nice and slow. In 1, 2, here we go. You guys sound great. Alrighty. So who wants to learn some new notes on the recorder today? Awesome. So if you guys want to take out your recorder fingering chart, you guys should have that. So if you want, just for reviewing purposes, we'll see that in this corner we have G that we learned. We have A that we learned. We have B, and then we have high D that was just for Mary Had a Little Lamb. And then if you guys want to look in your top left corner, we're going to see low D, that's what we call it, and then low C. So don't look at the fingerings right now, just focus on the staff. And we're going to see that first for the D is actually the space underneath the staff. And that's where D is located. And then if we want to look underneath that, C is located the whole entire another line underneath the staff. And if you kind of look, you can see that from E all the way down to C, it is a descending pattern. So one, and then lower, and then lower. Okay. And then let's look at fingering. So if you guys look, we can see that everything except for, at least for D, everything except this hole right here is covered. That last hole right here is not covered for D. And then if we look at C, we can see that everything is covered, okay? And I'm going to go over the fingerings right now. But if you guys have any questions about the fingerings, keep that close by, but please feel free to ask me any questions, okay? All right, so just like we did, we're going to do another exercise, another repeat after me exercise. And we're going to be going from C to D, C. So from C to D, C to D, okay? The notes will not change. That's the order they will stay in, but the rhythm might. So you guys want to just be making sure you're listening as well. And before we start playing those, let's actually just let's do the fingerings, actually. I forgot I even mentioned the fingerings. Okay, so we're going to backtrack just a little bit. We're still going to do the activity, but let's do the fingerings really quickly, okay? So for D, we're going to make sure all of our stuff, all of our thumb, and then our 3 fingers are down. And then just like with E, we're going to make sure that our 2 pointer fingers are down. And then for D, we're going to make sure you see this little hole right here. We're going to make sure our ring finger on our right hand is down for that. And once again, when we're playing, we want to think nice, warm air, slow, and you want to pronounce a toe. So let's just play a few notes so that we can get this. Awesome. And then now for C, keep everything the way it is, and now we're going to have our pinky cover this last one. So same thing, warm air, and we're going to blow. Cool. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the activity that I was talking about. Okay, guys? I realized I forgot to go over the recordings, or the fingers. Alrighty. So I'm going to go first, and you guys are going to repeat after me. Remember, C, D, C, D. Alright. 1, 2. Now here we go. Now your turn. Good. Okay, now my turn. Now your turn. Now my turn. Now your turn. Awesome. So you guys sound great. So now we're going to go to Al Citron. And as we can see on Al Citron, it actually we only are going to be playing our low D for this song. So we just want to be making sure that we're taking our time. We're taking our time when we're playing from the other notes, getting our fingerings down. And once again, we want to be making sure, we want to be thinking slow and warm air as we're playing. Okay? Slow and warm air. Alrighty. Well, let's go for it. In 1, 2, here we go. One. All right, I had to make sure I was good. All right, 1, 2, here we go. Awesome. Let's go for it again, yeah? Okay. In 1, 2, here we go. 1. Awesome. Then now, let's go on to our last piece of the day for the recorder. Colorado Trail. And this one does incorporate our low C and our low D. And then if you guys want to look on the last line on As We Travel, there's a high C. And I'm just going to go over that really quickly. High C is actually very easy. It's like if you're playing an A, but just lift off your pointer finger. And that's it. Keeping your thumb on the back and your index finger right there. And that's all you play for the high C. And we're just going to be using it just for that one. It's just one note in the song. Okay. Your high C should sound like this. Okay. Alrighty, let's go for it, guys. We're going to take this once again nice and slow. In 1, 2, here we go. Not bad. Let's try it again, yeah? Okay. In 1, 2, here we go. And let's play it just a third time, and this will be the final time, guys. All right. 1, 2, here we go. All right, and that will be it for our recorders today. If you guys want to take a seat, and we'll move on to the next activity.